The ATM business is 100% passive income once it's set up. You just collect money while you sleep. That's what all the YouTube gurus tell you. But today I'm giving you the unfiltered truth about how passive this business really is. By the end of this video, you know exactly what parts of the ATM business are passive income and which parts require hands-on work, and how to maximize the passive elements while minimizing your active time investment. I built this business alongside my full-time job, so I know exactly what it takes. So when I started an ATM business, which over 25 years ago, I was a music and games operator, which meant we owned an amusement route and we primarily focused on bars, restaurants, and bowling centers. So when I got into the ATM business, I thought, well, how hard can it be? All we do is place the ATM. The best part is we had already access to most of the business owners. So the sales aspect wasn't really a hard sell. We were already into the space. I already knew the business owner, a clear roadmap to put an ATM in, and it was in how hard can throw money in an ATM be. Well, that part of the ATM business, as far as making money, residual income, week after week, day after day, no problem. But that part of the business is true. Once you set the ATM, you're making money all the time. However, there is maintenance involved. And I was blessed by the fact that we didn't have to sell because I was already had those business owners. But once I wanted to expand outside of my comfort zone or outside my amusement route, then I had to start selling. That took extra amount of time. So the ATM business as a whole is pretty passive. You put the ATM in, you make surcharge money day after day, month after month, year after year. You live off that residual income or those surcharges. Great, phenomenal. If you want to grow the ATM business, that part is going to take some sweat equity. And there are maintenance issues from time to time that will come up. You'll have a bill jam, you'll have a communication error, you'll have a paper jam. Those areas, they will be responsible. It's not going to be passive because you will have to go out and service those ATMs. And if you want to grow your ATM business past over the 1 or 2 or 3 locations that when you start out in the ATM business, you're going to have access to those 2, 3, 4 locations because you're going to know somebody. That is going to be great, but to grow it beyond that little circle of trust or circle of friends, it'll take some effort to grow your ATM business. Something I learned a long time ago in life, whatever you want always takes a bit of effort. So when I break it down, it's an 80-20 rule, just like everything else in life is. 80% of the money comes in with 20% of the work. So 80-20 rule applies in this business also. The income, that's 80%. Maintenance, the salesmanship, that's the other 20% that nobody really wants to talk to about on YouTube or any of the other social media platforms. There is going to be some level of work. There is bare minimum maintenance, but it does come up. And if you want to grow your ATM business, you're going to take some salesmanship. That's the 20% that nobody wants to talk about on the social media channels and YouTube. So let's talk about those 20%. Maintenance, that is the 20%. Time to time, and I talk about it all the time, every 6 months you want to upgrade your ATM to put the new software. Now, most of the places aren't charging you for the software. PDQ Merchant Enterprises don't charge you for the software, but you should upgrade to the latest greatest software. From time to time, there's going to be a key file malfunction or a stuck bill. That is going to be a service call. That's the 20% that we're talking about. And the last part of that 20% is the salesmanship. Now, people say, Phil, I'm not a salesperson. I don't know how to sell. You know what? We break it all down. You're not really selling anything. What you're doing is you're saying, we have a cash solution. It's an ATM. We are in the ATM business, and you don't have an ATM in your business. Would you like us to place a free ATM in your business and give you a revenue share? All you're asking is, are they interested in your product? If they are, great. It doesn't cost them anything. When the sales, one of the objectives you always have to overcome is how much cost. In this case, you're placing an ATM in their business, and so forth. It's not going to cost them anything. That's the other 20%, or part of the 20% is the salesmanship. So to reiterate all of that, we have it. It's an 80-20 rule. This business is 80% passive income, 20% inspiration, perspiration, sometimes they call that. That will require you to do some maintenance and some salesmanship. If you want to grow your ATM business, you're going to need salesmanship. Now, the nice thing about the ATM business is you can set up and you can lean on us, PDQ Merchant Enterprises, for some of these systems that we developed over the years. How to get new locations, because maybe you're not the best, what you want to call a salesperson. So we developed a system to help you come up with new locations. And maintenance, we provide you with maintenance to minimize your maintenance. So you're not running all over God's creation, trying to figure out how to fix something. We do a lot of preventative maintenance. That minimizes that 20%. So we have salesmanship, we have maintenance, we minimize both to make it closer to that 100% passive income. If you're thinking about starting your own profitable ATM business, I want to invite you to our free checklist entitled ATM Business Passive Income Checklist. 5 things you need to know to start your profitable ATM business so you can have a clear roadmap towards ATM business success. You can earn between $250 and $1,500 semi-passive income every single month. So if this sounds exciting to you, click the link down below and start your ATM journey today. Again, this is Phil from the ATM Mastermind group page, where we buy your freedom back one transaction at a time. Thank you guys for liking and subscribing our channel, and please join our ATM Mastermind group page.